So, Gab cooking, let's return to this subject. I was thinking of things that I did that very few others did, radio-wise, of course. I'm thinking I haven't really got a niche, but I have cooking, food. My food obsession. I still get messages from people, like years after, I still regularly get messages saying how much they like the curry I made and how often they eat it, which is amazing. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus a little bit on food for the first few months of 2021. At least until I get the old license back. Well, I can cook in the van now, so that's what I'll be doing later on in this video. Let's put that jaunty up there. So, not my t-shirt. Yeah, so here we go. Cooking, I'd say it isn't for everybody, but it is, like anybody can. You'll often hear people saying they could burn a cow's testicle. I think an easy food. They could burn a boiled egg. But often that's just because I haven't tried it. It's very, very easy to eat, very simple food. And I'm going to give you tips about what you can carry and what you can cook. So, first of all, I hate waste. I absolutely despise waste. And one of the pet hates of mine on the cooking pages on Facebook, you get less now, is people who line those little heated lunchbox, and I've seen more than one person line a fucking frying pan with foil so they don't have to wash it. Well, yeah, I can't, I bloody reuse foil. I actually wash it in the sink if it's not had meat on it and stuff. And if you want to cook in something, and you can get, some people buy plastic trays again, so they have to wash up, but that's like a waste of money. And such a waste, just throwing the plastic trays out after one use. And everything you can get from the supermarket, stuff you get from takeaways and stuff, comes often in little plastic trays. Just keep them, wash them, use them again. So that's one. And one thing is I use pots. So in this pot is mayonnaise. So the thing is, this way, and this one's got tomato ketchup in. This way, you can carry on buying the big ones, especially if you've got a family, you'll buy the big ones because they're the cheapest overall. And you don't have to have separate ones of Lorry, just have little pots and fill them up at the weekend. And this is really nice. I'm going to make an Amazon list about all these different things that you can find them. Instead of carrying salt and pepper, just carry salt and pepper, and that's delicious, absolutely delicious. A steak with that on. Oh, yes, secret blassos, yeah. Blassos. And another. Again, because the small bottles are much more expensive than the big bottles. This is that little tin espresso drink I bought. Just fill it with cooking oil from the big one at home. So, as I've said before, what amazes me how many people get when they're stranded, and they have nothing in the cab to eat. Now, fine, if you don't want to cook in the lorry, don't cook in the lorry. But at the very, very least, you do need a box of basic emergency goods. It's not a very big box. I get all my cooking equipment is in one IKEA bag. But this way, you'll never ever be sat starving hungry somewhere, like if you're stuck in snow or whatever strikes, anything like that. One of the best things, pasta. Keep dried, brilliant. Just, if you've got pasta and a tomato sauce, a jarred tomato sauce in your cupboard, yep, so it's sorted. That's nice pepper sauce. Yeah, or passata, which is just like blended little tomatoes. That on some pasta, sorted, perfect. Another good emergency ration thing to have is these stir-fry sauces and stuff. And they're very useful as well if you've got a piece of, say, chicken in the fridge that's like on the edge and you need to use it. Chuck in a frying pan, fry up with that and some veg. That's a really nice one, sweet chili and garlic. I like sweet and sour too, and teriyaki. Everybody needs some rice pudding for dessert. Don't know why that's in there. I'm not really down for sweet tooth. So, baby carrots. I'm going to do recipes showing different things with these. Dijon moutarde. I got this, as I've shown you in the video next, these little sizzler mackerels. They're bought and you give them a little fry. And you can also do the same with sardines. Sardines on toast is an absolutely magnificent little snack. And again, so easy. I'll show that in a video in coming up. Soy sauce, tomato concentrate. Again, that's like to go with pasta. Plum tomatoes, you can use them for those things. They're quite nice because I always like tin tomatoes and fry up more than beans. Garden peas, tomato and basil soup. 2 soups.
Soups. 2 soups. One soup and another soup. Right away, sir.
Potato mix soup. So yeah, have like 3 or 4 soups, then you're sorted. If you've got 3 or 4 soups, a bag of pasta, a couple of sauces, like which would take up tiny amount of space. That's it. You've got enough supplies there to keep yourself fed for like 3 or 4 days easily. This is another one of my favorite things is stewed steak. I make it myself now because I get it reduced by, and I'm in a house. But tin of that, a tin of new potatoes, bloody delicious, warmed up, and it's so simple, the simplest thing in the world. Oh, baked beans. The Irish call it, British drive as beanos because we eat beans with everything. I don't really like beans that much, but they are a fantastic filling bit of sustenance when you really need it. So, and chicken gravy. So yes, I do believe that's that covered. So there, yeah, there's the bare essentials. There's the absolute basic needs. And talking about curries, people going about my curry. These are good too. Packs. They're not in the fridge, but they're always handy to keep. Therefore, if you fancy something a bit nicer than like a just last minute tin, but you don't want too much work because it's all sort of done for you. Serves 2, 3 in 10 minutes. And always when you cook, especially for stuff like that, just make it for 2 or 3 and keep the other one for tomorrow. You can heat the vast majority of stuff up in the frying pan, or if you've got a microwave, you're one of those fancy people. You can use a microwave, but generally you can heat stuff up and reheat stuff in the pan absolutely fine if you've got one of those little where the bloody hell's it gone? Oh yeah, heated lunch boxes. You'll be sorted. Also, bottle of water. You'll see this in the video next. Tin. Crockery, because it doesn't break, and I use a pasta plate for my dinner because then Lorry obviously sat on your lap and whatnot, so you don't want it to be spilling anywhere, and the pasta plates are good at keeping things in. Little doodle there. Got a square pan as well. The pan is a bit better, and these are really good as well. Pasta, garlic and sun-dried tomatoes. Just waz them into some recipes. Butter. I don't eat spread because spread isn't butter. Just keep it in a Tupperware tub and keep it out of the fridge. It doesn't need to be in the fridge. And it's spreadable. And also this, again, because like going back to the sauces, you can buy like the normal quantities you would at home for your family and then just take a little bit. So I just buy these. You can get these from IKEA. I'll have a look so you can get it on Amazon. Just grate some cheese, take as much cheese you want. It's always handy to grate it first because you're almost certainly going to use it grated. And it's easier grating it in the kitchen and cleaning up than in Lorry. So, yes, there we go. There we go. So, next I'm going to show you a couple of breakfast ideas with my new toaster. See you shortly. So as I've mentioned before, some people in those little heated lunch boxes line them with foils. They don't have to wash up. And I think that's fucking insane because I hate waste. So much so, I have things. Fact is, there's loads of, like, a lot of this stuff is way better quality than one use. I mean, that's metal. So I was going to keep some milk in that. Probably tea bags or mayonnaise in that one. These are really good. Just put a bit of salt, pepper, and little cardboard ones. And also, if you do insist on lining it so you don't have washing up, just you can save that. There's lots of, you can get little plastic ones, like stuff like that. Like that can heat. Stuff will heat up in there fine because it doesn't get too hot that it'll cause a fire. But yeah, so I think there we are. There's another one. Try and shop. I always try and shop local if possible. That's not to say that stuff elsewhere is not good enough. It obviously is, but it's like in terms of air miles and pollution and stuff, and it's also good supporting the local economy because we all rely on it. And this cheese is lovely. Cows come right in my... So what I'm going to do is grate some. Father Brown on video 4. So yeah, just book however much you need for the week. Like I say, you couldn't grate it in a lorry, but it's just something else they can be quite hard to clean up, and this just makes it easier. Because you'll of course have worked very hard that day, and grating cheese may actually be physically beyond you. I know it is me. There we go. And these are from IKEA, these little box grater things. It's not a box grater. Oh, fuck's sake. And it comes with a little doodle on top. I can go in the washing machine. Yeah. And then that goes on top. So it saves space. So, I'm in my t-shirt. It's quite nice, isn't it? And I've come to do some cooking, and I'm not going to get much done, I think, because it's getting dark and the lights in this van are terrible. So let's do a little talky bit. The on-brand high-vis is there too. I got one with cab cooking on. I'll put that on my seat. So as you will know, I did some cooking videos last year, but they're in my kitchen, which is in my house, and they were fine, showing what things you can make in a lorry, but they were sort of just, they're in the kitchen, so it doesn't really inspire anybody. They don't see it as having the struggle of cooking in a vehicle and doing it themselves. So the idea is, so one of the things that's always made me happy is how many people love the cooking I've done in the past. I've not done any for many years, like regularly. So I thought one way, while I'm not driving a truck, that I can keep things going is by rejigging the cab cooking and starting again from scratch, because all the videos are old. Learned lots of things cooking wise I can pass on to others, and yeah, and I'm still as enthusiastic as ever. Like there was one bloke, a chap from DJ Thomas, well, he used to work DJ Thomas, long gone, down the road, posted a picture of him and his lad cooking egg and bacon, and one bloke went, in Italy you go around the corner and get this and the other for real food for like 1800 lira, which is I think it was like somebody put it out, that's 10 pence. Because people get really snotty about cab cooking because they blame us for the demise of restaurants on the road, but the restaurants on the road mostly demised because they were shit, because they had a captive audience. So, as you know, I've always been a huge advocate of cooking for myself. I was going to try and do like two or three little breakfasts here while I'm here, but the light is fading. But something I got this week from my mother, one of the presents for Christmas, is this. Now, it's like, I've got a square pan. The problem is I find the square pan is a little bit too big. There's the Ridge Monkey as well, which is more like that, but I think this is slightly smaller than the Ridge Monkey. This is more aimed at making toasties. But you can cook like chops and stuff in it, because it's really good because it's quite thin, so you can squash down the chops and cook both sides at once. So this is something to have. A baking tray, put it down and put your cooker on top of it. Then when things spill, they don't go all over your seats. This is my brother's cooker he sent me, and it's all fresh and nice and clean. So what we're going to do today with that little toastie maker is point out how fucking easy it is to make breakfast. So before this, I would have put a bit about equipment to have and what to have with you. What is it? Oh, there it is. One of which is wet wipes for clearing up. People moan about and they don't do it because they're worried about cleaning up. Just antiseptic kitchen wipes are perfectly fine. Well, actually, I buy these. They're baby wipes for most stuff. Like if you just eat like a piece of toast off a plate, a baby wipe is fine. But if for heavier stuff, like the cooking, like the pans and plates you've had a dinner off of, an antiseptic kitchen wipe is very good. So put that on there. Bread. Eggs. Right, now the first thing I'm going to show you is like a little tiny omelette, which you could put in a sandwich, or you can just have it as is, which is what I do. So get yourself a fork. First of all, these are good. I'm not going to say anything about the origins of this bacon because I don't like buying meat that isn't British, and I don't think it is British, but it's £1 for a big pack of bacon misshapes. And in my poverty stricken state, it means a lot. So yeah, bacon misshapes. Stick these in the fryer, in the pan. Start them cooking first. You can cook them up, or you can chuck the rashers in as they are. The seagulls coming and attacking me next. A bit of bacon fell on the floor. That's going to start stinking at some point in the future because I can't find it. So, as you can see, 2 bacons cooking. Something you should carry with you, a jug. Good for measuring stuff. I will point out things, the way things you can do at home to take with you to make life just a whole lot easier. Where did I put the fork? Oh, for the love of God. Not on my lap. So, whisk up the eggs a little bit. Don't turn it on flat out, quite low, medium heat. Right, let me try and put to the camera so you can watch this. 2 eggs is sort of the maximum you can put in this pan, I'd say. Any more and you'd be causing issues. You'd have to turn the bacon over because you turn the pan over. You see, that's going to be the very limit of what it can take. In fact, there were 2 very large eggs. I don't think you're going to quite. I'm going to have to phone down and close the lid. There we go, it's closed. And leave that there for a few minutes. When you go to turn it over, what you do, you have to be careful because it's not quite liquid tight, so you have to like have a bit of kitchen roll to and so you can either put this in a sandwich because it's exactly the right size to put in a sandwich. So here we go, we've got a piece of rag. Turn it over really quickly, but you just gotta keep that side so nothing actually comes tipping out, because a very small amount will, but there we go. There we go. And there we have it. Put it down here. And I'll open this up and you'll see. There we go. See, look at that. And that's literally like less than 5 minutes for that. Better than anything you can, because the eggs are quality that you've chosen. Bacon's quality that you've chosen, in my case, very cheap bacon. But yeah. Another thing I'm going to cook, I was going to do these today, but the light's fading too fast. These are really nice. I found some in the shop the other day. Mackerel sizzle. They'll be nice in there on toast. So I'm going to try doing those as well. But yeah, they're in no time at all. It's all cooked. Where is my plate? Okay. So as I've probably said beforehand, top tip for Lorry eating: metal plates, enamel plates, cheap enough, and pasta bowls for dinner, because they hold the liquids in. Because of course you're eating on your lap most of the time in a lorry. So there we have it. The lid does come off, but it's a bit awkward. Hang on. It's like the square pan. So there we have it. Delicious omelette, and like I say, bread size, so you can put it in a sandwich if you want, but I personally like them as they are. So let's do one more thing. So also you can use these for this horrid reason I got it from my mum was to make toasted sandwiches, because I am quite partial to a toasted sandwich. A nice one to make is bacon and cheese. Can't beat bacon and cheese sandwich. So start the bacon off first, as like the omelette, because it takes a little longer to cook. It won't cook if you put it entirely inside the sandwich. Here we go. Here we go, bacon. With the bread, butter the outside, otherwise it can stick to the pan. The pan is non-stick, but it can stick a little bit. Use genuine butter if you can, but if you like spreadable stuff, that's entirely up to you. It's not actually butter spreadable. Just buy a Tupperware tub and keep it out of the fridge. But just a light coating on the bread, because it's just on the outside. Less place to put down stuff down in the van. We're going to turn the bacon over this time, because, like I say, it won't cook inside. The inside, the toast will only just toast it enough to toast the bread and melt the cheese, not entirely cook it. It's nice. I'm sitting here watching the sea. I wanted to park in a position where the sea was in the background, but I can't. So here we are. We're stuck with this. I did at least try and make the effort to come somewhere nice to make a cooking video. Happy New Year, everybody. So the bread is cooked. The butter and the what am I saying? I have no idea. The bacon is mostly cooked. So put the bread in the pan. Turn the heat down a little bit. Put the bacon back in on top of the bread. Thusly. This pan's full of smoke. And then one that's really good for this, but also I'm using this because it was in the fridge and needed using. I normally like grated slices of Gouda for cheese toasties. But like I say, this needed using, so it's going to be used. It's my mom advice, don't go on at me about these. Friends and family really do. It's my one vice. Energy drinks. Shoot me. So there we go. 2 super easy breakfast, lunch, dinner. Use it for anything. There we have it. Let me put my camera down here for you. A nice cheese and bacon toastie. Perfect. So there we go. There is no excuse for not eating at least breakfast in the lorry. Good day. I know some health and safety people are probably going to find this idea horrifying. I suggest next. The smell doesn't last long because some people like I don't want to keep smelling of food. It's like, if you don't like the smell of food, you're probably eating the wrong food. Firstly, it doesn't last that long. The Flora is very good spray, but also little candles. But don't stand them on the dash as they are. I'm not going to put one on now because it's the van and I'm going home now. But just pop them in one in a little glass, stay on your dash, and go to bed to candlelight. And you'll wake up to, in this case, lavender and petitgreen. The smell for even the most distinguished gentleman. Or just put a face mask on, whatever suits you.